Hey boys and girls, today for your Scratch project, we are going to learn how to use code blocks to repeat algorithms. And what we're going to make is a little surprise slideshow. So let's get started. In your Scratch account, once you've logged in, signed in with your username and password, click the word create. It'll open a brand new page. And I want you to first come to the backdrops. And basically, I'm going to show you how to use a set of code blocks to repeat algorithms. And we are going to concentrate on looking at the control. These are different control blocks where it gives commands to the sprite or to the backdrops of, hey, wait until something happens, or repeat if necessary, or if this happens, if a sprite pops up, then do something else. So the first thing I want you to do is come over to the backdrops page or section of the stage and click on this icon. If you're up for a surprise, you can actually click the surprise button and have it randomly pick 4 different slides for you, or 5. If you're if you want to choose on your own, feel free to click on the icon, the backdrop icon, and select your backdrop here. Okay, when you're done, click on the backdrop. When this is highlighted in blue, it means that you are ready to code the backdrops. Now, before I do that, I kind of want to check out what my surprise backdrops are. And here they are. Okay, so I have all these random different ones, and I want to share a little surprise at the end of this project. So what would that look like? So once I checked out my backdrops I want to use, I can think about what order I want to use them in. Okay, I'm gonna come back to code, the tab, code up here. This is where I'm going to program the backdrops, where I'm going to go to events first because I want to pull out an event block. An event block, once again, is a block that triggers all the commands underneath it to happen. So this command is when the green flag is clicked, this event block will trigger the commands underneath. So what commands do I want? I would like, when the green flag is clicked, I want it to switch backdrops, and then wait a second, keep switching backdrops. Now, right here, what I'm doing is a little repetitive. So a little trick I want to show you is if you hold down on the top or the right key on your mouse, or double click with a two-finger tap on a Chromebook or a laptop, you will come up with the right click, and you can say duplicate. When I duplicate, I got the same 4 blocks that I had previously, and I could delete the ones I don't need. Now, right here, it says switch backdrop to spaceship. All 4 of these are spaceships because I duplicated them. But I can slowly just change them into random ones. Wooden bench, wall, and I could, let me see, I want to duplicate 2 more. And I want it to end on a mountain. Okay, and let's see what happens first when I click on the green flag. Okay, so I want to make this a little suspenseful. So I don't want the cat shown at the moment. And actually, I don't want to use the cat either. I want to choose my own sprite. So here, I'm going to delete my sprite. I'm going to come down here, look for a sprite that I would like. I think I'll go with the frog. Here's my frog. I want to program him to show up at the very end of my backdrops and then scream, Ribbit, Happy New Year. So let's see, how can I go about doing that? Let's think about this. Well, I program my backdrop to keep switching by every 1 second, and you can make it a little longer. I'm going to come back to my frog. I'm going to program my frog by saying, hey, when the green flag is clicked, I don't want the frog to show. So I go to looks, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. There are two blocks if you're ever using the hide block. You should always pull out the show block too, because eventually you want the green frog to show up, but not yet. So right here, if I click the green flag, flag, he disappears. And if I click the green flag, the frog doesn't show up. Well, he doesn't show up because he wasn't queued to show up anywhere. I'm gonna come back to my backdrop. I'm gonna say, hey, after all these things happen, I want to pull out a special event block called a broadcast message block. This is broadcast message 1. What does that mean? Well, a broadcast block is a block that sends a signal to the sprite that has when I receive a message. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to the frog. I'm gonna pull out this new event block called when I receive this message. Okay, so the frog, when I receive the message, show up, and I'm gonna throw a sound in there. Play sound. Okay, I don't want it to say pop, but let's see what happens just to test it out. Here it goes. My backdrop is changing every second. And then at the very end, oh, popped and my frog showed up. So let's make it a little more exciting. I'll record something. Here I click the record button. Rip it. Happy New Year. And I'm going to, you can't really hear it because of the way I'm sharing my screen, but I'm going to click save. I'll pretend to be coding my message. Come back to my code of the frog, play sound, drop down, and say recording 1. So then when I click on the green flag, I'm suspecting something, but I really don't know what's going to show up, and I want you to surprise me. And at the very end, he said, Ribbit, Happy New Year. And you could add some other surprise effect as well using these control blocks and event blocks. Okay, so right here, when I receive message 1, you can also create new messages. So if you want someone else, another sprite to show up, I could say, hold on, let me pull a new one out. When I receive new message, surprise, okay, this is my sprite. I want to pull out another sprite to pop up with my frog. And let's say my frog, and here's my fun dino, they're gonna pop up. Okay, he's going to hide as well. Here's the green flag, go to looks. He's going to hide, and then he's going to show up at another time. So I'm going to come back, events. I'm going to scroll down to when I receive, not message 1 because that's the frog's message, but I'm going to click when I receive surprise. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to say play sound bite until done. Now I have to add that actually to my backdrop. So when I click on my backdrop, I'm going to come back to events and say broadcast message surprise. Click on the green flag, the backdrops are running. There you go. I want you to think about what would you like to surprise us with at the end of the backdrop slideshow. Have fun.